Hello and welcome. I am your host of What Are You Reading? What Are You Writing? Author Karen E. Osborne. I have 5 novels out. The latest is Justice for Emerson. I am so glad that you're here. This is a space for readers and writers to come together and talk about books. My guest today is Jackie Herz. Hey, Jackie.
Hi, Karen. Thank you so
I'm
much for having me.
I'm so delighted to have you back because you guys might have remembered Jackie from her first book that she came on, and if not, you can put her name right in that search column that search box on my website. You can find the original one, but this one is going to be brand new book, and it came out today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Happy Publication Day. You
Thank
want to
you.
show everybody the beautiful cover?
Yes. Okay.
Look at this. Hannah Bloom. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So, this is her second novel, Hannah Bloom Dream Juggler. How cool is that? So,
Yes.
Jackie, I remember in our first conversation, and we were talking about the Circumference of Silence, your
Right.
first novel,
Right.
and you told me that it had taken you years and years and years and years and years to write it.
Right.
Obviously, this one didn't. So, tell us a little bit about your writing process and what's changed between that first one and this one coming out so much sooner.
Well, first of all, the first one, I was working. I had children, small children at home, and so it was a very part-time, although I was taking courses and all of that. And I just it was just very difficult to figure out how to tell that story because, first of all, I was told that that story is not mine to tell. So that kind of sort of put a little bit of the brakes on me and tried to figure out how to tell the story so the story was in fact mine as well. But most of all, it was the time. This book, although it didn't take as long, it still took a very long time because I think I began working on this book, at least parts of it anyway, at least 10 years ago.
Mm.
But also it's kind of trying to uh, trying to get it all together and figure out exactly how it just takes me a long time to figure out how to write it, how to make it work, I guess. Um,
Yeah. You have the story in your head, but how do I enter it and how do where
right,
do I start? And
right.
yeah.
You kind of know what it is, but you want to make it, well, there's something you need to make it special. You need to make it something not just going from A to Z sort of thing. So that's it. Yeah.
Took time. So tell us the premise of this lovely book. Tell us the premise, the period,
Okay,
the
so
setting.
all right, I'm going to read you the synopsis on the back of the book, if that's okay with you.
Of course.
Okay. Hannah Bloom, who's the main character, dreams of the day she'll have chased away all those doubts and worries that plague her and be free to call herself a poet. In her everyday life, she works in the business she and her husband Jake founded together. While their 2 young daughters are away at summer camp for the first time, Hannah expects to have time for her poetry, but life has other ideas. Every
Mm.
day she finds gut-wrenching letters sitting in their mailbox from their homesick, unhappy children. Then, as she comes to grips with the sudden news of her unexpected pregnancy, she learns her mother's contemplating a move to Switzerland, a move back to a Europe that their whole family fled to escape the Holocaust. And to top it all off, Hannah and Jake receive notification of a lawsuit that threatens their business. Deemed the writer in the family, it falls to Hannah to document their side of the dispute for the mediator. While she relives these past day-to-day events, She can't help wondering how she'll juggle her role as wife and business partner, mother, daughter, and finally, she hopes, poet. And that's my story.
Lovely. That's lovely. So tell me about Hannah herself. What is her personality like? What do you love about her?
Well,
Just give us a little sense of who Hannah is. Not just,
uh,
mother and wife, but
right, right. Who's
yeah.
she inside? Okay, she's very intense. She's a big worrywart, which her husband teases her about. And she's very intense. And she tries to do all those. She really would like to go home and be a poet, is what she would like to do. But she enjoys working as well, with her husband. Um, but she's very intense.
Hmm. And what do you hope she'll learn? Sometimes our characters can annoy us a little. Is
Right.
there, you want her to stop worrying? Is there something else that you would like her to learn?
Um, can't remember what I wanted to learn. I think I just wanted to learn to be satisfied with her life and to figure out how to make it work, how to make everything in her life work well enough, so that she can carry on.
That you can carry on. Yeah. Isn't that what we want for ourselves?
Yes.
Right? Just to make it work, make it work. So many of our viewers are writers and
Mhm.
aspiring writers. Of course, they're all readers, but
Right.
many of them are also writers. And you and I both fall into the it's never too late category,
Right.
right? We both got published later in our lives. So do you have any advice for anybody who is working on that first book or
Um,
got the first book out and is worried about the second?
okay. The only advice I can give is to just keep at it. No matter how you feel at the time you sit down with your pen and pencil, or with your pen and paper, or with your computer, is just to keep at it, to keep doing it, because that's really the only way to get better at it, and to have whatever may be in the back of your mind that you don't even know is there to come out. So yeah, I think, and it's not that I'm always very successful at doing this, I have to say, but yeah, but that I think is what you have to do. You just have to be there to do it. You just have to keep doing it.
Yeah, writers write, right?
Yes,
Writers write. So if that's what you want to be, if that's what you want to do, you got to just
you got to just do it.
do it,
You
even if
just,
it's just
yeah.
for a few minutes a day.
And the other thing is that to remember is that the words can be changed. Words can be changed, and ideas can be changed, and that nothing is concrete. Nothing is really concrete until you allow it to be out there. In other words, you can just write whatever you want, and it doesn't matter, because you can say, okay, I don't like this, and come back and change and nobody else has to see it until you decide it's okay for everybody, for it to be out there. And even then
Yeah,
it's very nerve-wracking.
but still, that's great advice. Don't start self-criticizing and it's just between you and the story and your characters right now. I like
Right.
that. That's really great advice. Are you working? I know today's publication day, so maybe it's too soon to ask, but are you working on anything now?
uh, I'm trying to, and I'm not sure whether I'm going to end up with a bunch of short stories, or whether what I'm working on will be a book. I'm just really not sure, and I've just sort of started on it. And I think, and I've decided, actually this morning, or actually a couple of weeks ago, I decided that I would wait until the book is published, out there, is released. And so I don't have to think about it in terms of, I don't have to, whatever comes in terms of criticisms, or, and
Or rave reviews,
or rave
rave
reviews,
reviews.
hopefully. My sister-in-law called me. a couple of weeks ago and told me that she just started the book and called to tell me, my sister-in-law Georgie, told me that she was really enjoying it. So she really liked it, and in fact, she was reading it in the middle of the night. So I figured that's the best compliment one could get.
It's a good sign, right? She
Good
she
sign,
couldn't
right?
put it
Right,
down.
right.
Yes, yes. So, have you read anything recently that you can, one or two books that you could recommend to our
Um,
audience?
well, I have a list of them. I'm sure you don't really want the list, or
One
maybe
or
you
two.
do. Okay. I happen to like Paul Auster's books. The last one he wrote was Baumgartner, which is where I actually was introduced to him. So I found him, um, and that turned out to be his last book because he died shortly thereafter.
Mm.
And I just really loved his writing. It's so just very easy, and not that what he says is easy, but the way he writes is very easy to read, and I just really like him. Um, and um, uh, and I read a book. Well, the book that sort of I feel close to in is called The Postcard by Anne Berest, and about her family in France during the Holocaust, and her family was picked up. But she did an incredible job writing about it, and so well, I'm connected to that in that respect. Um, there was a book by Martin Riker called The Guest Lecture, and
Mm.
it's about a woman who she's with her husband and her daughter. They're in a hotel room, and she is giving, I guess she's giving a lecture the next day. Um, and I forget now exactly what it was on, but it's some sort of business. And anyway, she's up all night worrying, and I just so connected with this woman, this character that anyway, that was that. But there was something I had thought about at the end of it, and I think um, okay, so I said looking at my list because I had a bit of a longer list. I think what I found so fascinating and wonderful about all these books is that um, the way in which each one of the protagonists is searching through their past, as well as who they themselves have become or are striving to become. And I think that's what I liked about all of these, and that's what I like to read about. Um,
Yes, people strive to become. Those are great, really wonderful recommendations. And I know that everybody appreciates hearing from us about what we're reading and what we enjoy.
uh-huh.
So I know all of you watching, listening, you all know that you can find Jackie's books any place you buy or borrow books. So you can find it on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, your local independent store, which we hope you'll support, and also, like I said, your library. And you can just, and if it's not there, just ask for it. Um, please do that. But Jackie, they would like to know where they can find you. So how do they get in touch with you and how do they follow you?
Okay. Well, my email address is Jackie@JackieHerz.com, which is do you want me to spell it out, or will they? It's
Right there on the screen.
okay. Right. Okay. So they have it right there. So anyway, that's how you spell my name. So it's Jackie@JackieHerz.com. That's my email. And my is my other is
Your website?
website, thank you, is JackieHerz.com, www.JackieHerz.com. And if you go on, you can find me on Amazon because I have already, my first book is there. I'm on Goodreads. In fact, I have 3 ratings on Goodreads already for this book, 5-star ratings, which is kind of exciting. Um, and um, and uh, and
Are you on
that's
Facebook? Do you have an author
yeah.
Facebook page?
I don't have an author Facebook page. It's just gone to Jackie Hers. And Instagram as well. I'm on Instagram, so you can find me
Oh,
there.
I hope all of you are going to do that. I'm hoping you're already following me. on all of those places, website, YouTube, on my Facebook page, on Instagram, and I hope you will follow Jackie and that you will let her know that you met her on What Are You Reading? What Are You Writing? Thank you, everybody, for watching, and thank you, Jackie, so much for being my guest.
Thank
Until
you, Hannah.
next time, have a great week.
Bye. Thank you.